this video we're going to repair a sticky gear stick on an Alfa Romeo 147 and 157. I know it's a strange looking Volkswagen, but I make these videos to help people, so this is what we're going to do. Now it's a very common problems on this car, and it's quite an easy fix. Half an hour, 45 minutes of your time will have your car totally new. So this is the problem. The gear knob is really sticky and not coming back to neutral, which is really just a pain in the you know what. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort this problem out. Yeah, that's it really. As you can see, it's just not returning to neutral. It's just really hard to find the gears, and it's just generally all around a horrible drive. So for very little money, you can fix this and make it as good as new. So we're going to start by removing the battery. Really simple. We always remove the negative terminal first. Just practice, it's safer. And then it's the same thing with the positive. It's a little bit tricky in there, but you'll get in there with a ratchet and a little bit of patience. This positive terminal has like a fuse pack on it, so try to be careful with it and not too reckless. You see what I'm doing here. Once you've released both terminals, you need to release the strap that's holding the battery down. It's a 30mm, I believe. Spray it with WD-40 or any penetrating oil, because it will help you take it off. You don't want to break that, because they're quite easy to break and they can corrode. So just undo the battery from the battery strap. Now you're going to have to move the intake on this one, the intake hose I should say. It's a 7mm spanner. But you're going to have to move it just to make your life a little bit easier when taking the battery out, because we're going to have to get underneath the battery to get access. The battery tray just pulls up. Don't forget to put that back in. I nearly forgot that. And then you've got these bolts which are attached to the side of the car there. There's two right in the front of you. I believe they're 30mm also. But there's 3 of them on the side. You'll see them when you look a bit better. So with your socket, just take your time and undo them. Now, these were quite stiff. I take it because they're on the cold side of the car, so to speak, and contraction and all that sort of stuff just makes it a little bit stiff in there. So I would suggest greasing it before you put it back in. Now we've got to get access to under this fuse box here, which unclips and swings up. But this fuse box is held by 2 tabs. There's a bolt under there that we need to release to get the battery tray out. So just get a screwdriver, undo the clip on the side, and the whole unit should pop up just to give you that access underneath there. So this is a 10mm bolt you're going to need. Use your extension, undo it to free up the battery plate. Here you go, all simple stuff. Really easy. So once that's all done, you should be able to wiggle out the main battery tray. It's a little bit tricky, but it's not terribly hard. You'll work it out, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so now we got access to the gear linkage, and this is the gear linkage, and that's the bolt we're going to be removing. I believe that's a 15, but don't quote me. Have a full set. I'm using a new camera and it's not really working properly. So this is why we've got some horrible shots, really, to be honest. But just undo the nut and remove the washer that comes with it. Now this is like the gear linkage adjuster. I believe it's a 10mm. Just try and get a nice socket on it. I'm using a ratchet socket to get around the back. And once you've loosened it, just be careful how you pull it off, because there is a spring also there, and it comes in 2 parts. See me take it off carefully. I'm just showing you here now. That clean part is where it was adjusted, and that what makes you find your neutral and your gears properly. So just make sure it goes back to that mark when you put it back on, or else you're going to have a little trouble finding all the gears. You can see that clean part. You just want to set it right there when you come to putting it back. Tighten it up and make sure it will be all right. That'll be where you'll be able to find your gears properly when you put it all back together. So here's the shaft and them black washers around that shaft there. That's what's causing the problem. They actually compress, split, and you're not able to find your gears properly. It doesn't centralize it. So with the hammer, just knock it back through. And as it's all the way through, if you could get one of your extension, I used a socket extension, just to knock it all the way through. Bit tedious, bit tight in there, but it's more than doable. As you can see, these are the little grommets that we need to replace. They're only £4 on eBay. They're really cheap, or you could get them directly from the manufacturer. Now you've got full access. You just want to just take it out of a screwdriver. I really was trying to get the best shots I could, but it was a real struggle, especially with this new camera. With the other side, just get a screwdriver in there on the edge of the grommet, which is exactly the same as the first one we took out, and just hammer it through. Once again, it is a little bit tedious, but you'll be able to pull it out once you start it. You'll know exactly what I mean. So here's the old one. It was split, corroded, dry, everything to make it a little bit of a pain really to work properly. So here's the new ones. I've greased them up in Vaseline. You can use anything of your choice, but I had some Vaseline around and I thought that would be good enough to do whatever I needed it to do. I actually put loads on it. Maybe it was overkill, but I don't want to go back in there again. And the other one clearly dried out, so I put loads on it. So fitting it back is just a removal. It's just a reversal of removal. And I took off the shaft, which pops off. It's on a little ball joint. So I decided to get some Vaseline on that as well. Might as well, while we're here, just get as much things lubricated as possible, because I really want it to work nice and smooth. Because when a car doesn't find gears, it drives terrible. So might as well do it now than later. So you put it all back together now. Make sure you've got all of your connecting parts greased up. There you go, really easy stuff. And then just reassemble. It's just the reverse of taking it off. Like I said, make sure that gear linkage mark is at the place where it needs to be. And then just go in the car and check that everything is doing what it's meant to be doing. There you go, you can see it moving there, and you can see me moving it in there, which is a massive, massive improvement to how it was. It's finding neutral, it doesn't need me to push it back. Yeah, that's it, you can see how easy the fix was. Some of these things are really easy to fix with just a bit of time. And yeah, this made a huge difference. The car was perfect after that. So just make sure you've gone through all the gears. You can find the gears, so any adjustments you do will be now rather than later. But you can see how good it is now. So now just put the car back together. It's just a reversal of removal. Make sure you keep your bolts in a safe place. Grease them up if they need greasing up to ease in. And then go for a test drive to make sure everything's all right. Hope this helps someone. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Thank you for watching.